Okay, I'm about to try a little experiment. The other day, I made some focaccia, but I didn't want to make 4 focaccias, right? Because it's just the 2 of us in the house. So I decided to just put some dough in a container in the fridge and see if I can use it later. Okay, so here it is. Right? And you see it kind of expanded even though it was in the fridge, and maybe that's okay. I don't know. So I've got my oven on, and I'm just gonna, wow, it's nice and puffy, huh? I'm wondering if I can get away with turning this into a lovely pizza, right? So I'm just going to try to pinch, 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 pinch. I mean, it's starting to take shape. I'm wondering if I can turn this into a lovely pizza. Even though the dough was in the fridge, right? Let's see. Right? Let's see. Let's see if I can pull it off. Now, I don't want this pizza to be too big, so I don't want to stretch the dough out too much. But, right, I think that's a nice size for a personal pizza. That's going to go in my regular oven. So it should have a nice risen outer crust. And it's not going to be too big. And it's just going to be nice for lunch. Let's see if I can pull this off, because if I can, then this is the way I'm going to do things, right? I don't need to make all of the bread all in one day, right? I mean, that kind of looks nice, doesn't it? All right, stop the video. I'm going to go get everything ready so I can pop it in the oven. So the next few parts are going to go pretty quick. Okay, so one of the dangers of doing this in the house in a regular oven is that if you over sauce it or over cheese it, it just gets all wet and sloppy on top. So we have to be careful, right? If I had a 900-degree oven, which that's what I really want to get for the outside, but if I had a 900-degree oven, then I can be a little bit more liberal with my sauce and my cheese. And notice also that my sauce is not a very runny sauce, right? And basically this is just canned crushed tomatoes that I simmer a little garlic, a little olive oil, and some herbs. It's a very simple, and it's a quick sauce. I don't cook it for very long, maybe half hour, hour max, right? And I'm just being very careful that I don't, I mean, I want to get some nice sauce on there, but I don't want to over sauce it, because the fear is that I'm just going to wind up with a big puddle, right? And that's why I was also experimenting, remember, with, you know, pre-baking, right? I would bake it first, and then I'd throw the cheese on. But in this case, now, also I want to point out, I don't have any fresh basil. I went to the store, this is dried basil. I went to the store, and I didn't want to have to buy, like, you know, a huge, this is just some fresh oregano. I didn't want to have to buy a huge bunch of basil for one pizza. So a little bit of dried basil is not going to kill me. And now what you see here is the fresh mutts. And I want to make sure that I don't put too much. And, you know, I'm hoping that this mozzarella is not too wet. I mean, I've drained it. But, you know, if the mozzarella is a little bit too wet, then that causes problems, right? I've got my heat in the oven, good and hot, and I think that's plenty of cheese. So into the oven we go. I want to take you inside the oven real quick. Notice how I'm getting a good rise. Notice how the cheese is starting to glaze a little. Now, I'm hoping that that cheese doesn't just exude a lot of water. All right, I want to show you what's going on in there because it's pretty amazing. That's crazy, right? Look at that rise on the crust. That's out of control. All right, we're gonna have fun with this. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Okay, now you can see how the middle is a little bit soupy. That's what I didn't want. But all in all, I think it looks pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do is a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to brush the crust with a little bit of olive oil. I don't need to do this. Sometimes I like to do this. It certainly looks prettier, doesn't it? And I never, ever use this product, ever. Garlic salt. And just a very, very light sprinkle. That's it. And very shortly, I'm going to let that cool, let it settle a little bit, and then we're going to cut into that pizza. All right, so after letting it rest a little bit, you see how the nice bottom, you see how the crust is pliable. And normally I would use one of these puppies, but I'm going to use this. And I'm just going to right now, you see how it's soupy in the middle. Right, that's what I was trying to avoid. And I think it's because the mozzarella that I used wasn't dry enough. But it's still going to be delicious. And look at that nice airy crust. Isn't that nice? Maybe I should have let it sit a little bit longer. I don't know, but we're going to give it a taste. My guess is I probably could have baked it a little bit longer. I could have used thinner slices of mozzarella. It's the same mozzarella I've used in the past that wasn't this wet. It didn't seem very wet, but you see how I've got a little bit of soupiness in the middle there. I think it's still going to be delicious, but this is one of the problems when you're messing around with a regular oven in the house. If I had one of those pizza ovens, that extra heat would have lent to a faster rise, a quicker melt, and perhaps less soupiness in the middle. I don't know. We're going to find out because I'm going to be getting one, I don't know, soon. Okay, well, if I want to avoid being a great big fat fuck, I need to dispose of some of this pizza. And the way to do that is to go to your neighbor's house. So, here we go. Let's see, they don't even know they're going to be on this video, which is going to be pretty funny. Pretty funny indeed. Let's see, I hear the door opening. Oh, it's Dave. Here, Dave. Fresh off the... Say hi, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Ooh,
all right.
Lovely.
Yeah, baby, I'll see you later.
Thank you.